Well, here I am editing my software, and I wanted to let you guys know that I had a bit of a technical error. Something happened with my hard drive, and in the middle of an edit, it won't process the rest of the results. So I'm going to show you a clever way, a creative way to showcase the rest of this podcast episode. I think it's worth listening to. Gamze and I were talking about in episode 1 music and teaching. Gamze was explaining that she uses music from all over the world. Her students get to choose a song, and then they listen to it and then write a reaction poetry about it, or poetry that they think of on their own that was inspired by the song. In this episode, part 2, it starts off with me sharing an example of music and education that I've created. So thanks for sticking around. Buckle in for this great adventure of learning about music, Gamze's mentor, and how she met her, and a couple other stories that we're going to talk about. All right, have fun. You know, it's interesting. In some of the courses that I've taught, I use a lot of music as well. I do like a Billboard top chart where the students look at music that is popular in different points of history. What has been a number one song, and then they dissect that part of history and decide, is music affecting culture, or is music showcasing what is happening in history at that point. In my master's program, I did an entire thesis on rap songs made by Ludacris, talking about in my linguistics class. So it's really interesting the commonalities that we have as far as ways that we've been researching American literature and culture, and then also ways that we've been teaching it as well.
Wow, so cool. I really love it. Walter Grunzweig that time told me that you should go to Vienna, like to explore the exhibition of Peter Bruegel in Kunsthistorische Museum. And when I heard this issue, I was so excited, and I just took flight ticket to Vienna and to attend like Peter Bruegel's special exhibition. And I visited these paintings of Peter Bruegel. Like I observed all these paintings closely. It was so interesting memory that because my master thesis one side is Peter Bruegel, and I observed these paintings like so closely. It was so interesting, and I took pictures, and I put these pictures to my master thesis, and I wrote it from my personal photo archives, from my personal photo collection. So it was so interesting to look at the paintings so close, with these all different colors, linearity, perspective, like shadows, brush techniques. I saw all these things so closely, like directly. It was so interesting.
It lit up when you were talking about going to the art museum, the paint strokes, brushes. Why is it important for a person to experience art and paintings, even if it's not really their thing? Like, why is it important that we try and we go to a museum?
Yeah, because I think the most important thing is to dive into the research, I think. And if you are researching like someone else from diverse different culture, then you should go there, and you should go to see the masterpieces, the paintings of him or her. Like the Peter Bruegel is so old, like the so ancient figure. He is the 15th century. He lived in 15th century Netherlandish painter. So I really wanted to see his paintings to understand his reflections. So that's why I went to Vienna to observe the paintings, and also to Belgium, like the Antwerp, which is the place Peter Bruegel was born. And I really wanted to see the Peter Bruegel where he was born. Like I'm really so obsessed with these kinds of issues. Last year at New York University as a visiting scholar, and I got acceptance letter from New York University, like from the professor of children's literature, like the Lara Seguisak.
How did you find this opportunity, or did it find you? How did you discover this?
Yeah, actually, I discovered TÜBİTAK. TÜBİTAK is the government scholarship program, and I applied for this program first. You can choose wherever you want, like but from the abroad, like you can also go to England or the Germany or the America. My field is like the picture books. That's why after I got a scholarship from TÜBİTAK, from my government, I started to search the issues, like the professors who are interested, who are expertise in the field of children's literature. And I found Lara Seguisa from New York University. And also my another dream is to live in New York. That's why I just I sent an email to Lara, and I said that I'm funded by TÜBİTAK and I just need acceptance letter. I'm analyzing Jacqueline Woodson's picture books in terms of critical race theory and ethnic identity development. That's why I really want to come to your institution as a visiting scholar, and she happily accepted my request, and she just sent the acceptance letter in a week. It was so fast process to me. I came to New York on the 6th of August, like the 2023. After I decided to study Jacqueline Watson's picture books in 2000, I got just sent an email in Turkey, like to Jacqueline Watson, and I said that I am a scholar from Turkey and I am studying your picture books and in Turkey. Jacqueline Woodson was amazed, and she told me that, oh my god, in Turkey you are researching my picture books, how did you know me? And I said that I am really so interested in your picture books because Jacqueline Woodson's picture books are the real life stories, because Jacqueline Woodson wrote these stories from her own life, like own grandmothers, mothers, uncles' life stories. That's why I was impressed so much. She welcomingly answered my email, and last year I had a chance to meet Jacqueline Woodson in face. Like, it was so incredible. We had a breakfast and I asked some questions about my thesis, and she answered all of them happily, like the welcomingly. It was so interesting and it was so pleasure to meet her in face. Yeah, this is another perfect memory to me.
That is amazing. I'm looking up her books right now because I wanted to relate to your story. So I'm sure that I think that's beautiful that she can also see that her books have transitioned to across the ocean, right? That
Yes.
people of all cultures are learning from each other. And how great for an artist to know that they've reached people in Turkey and that you then in turn are able to meet her face to face. What did you guys
Yes.
take photos together? What a beautiful moment.
Yes, we have photo too. Actually, it was so nice because I attended to her book conference first, and she know me there, and oh my god, I was so excited that moment, and we just took our phone numbers, and later we meet again, like in face.
Wonderful. So just 2 years ago, I was living in Monterey, California, and a friend of mine, a coworker of mine, had me go with her to Santa Cruz to a book talk. And it was for the book, I'm looking it up right now so I get it right. It was for the book Remember Us by Jacqueline Woodson was coming out, I believe, at that time. And the school that I was teaching at, Gavilan View, they had a collection of her book Harbor Me. So I did teach the book Harbor Me because that collection was already there at the school, and other teachers had told me about it as well. Harbor Me is about a group of students that the teacher has them once a week get into a room together, and she leaves them alone so that they can talk without an adult. So it's them leaning on each other and building relationships and being able to talk about their emotions as teenagers. It was a great book for teaching seventh grade because they were able to then discuss their own lives in comparison to these children as well in the book. It was a great way for them to open up. And then when we were at the book talk, Remember Us, a copy of the book and had her sign it and dedicate it to the school I worked at and put it in the library for the students. It was a historical fiction book about a Black New York firefighter. And I can't remember if it was like the 60s. I wish I knew off the top of my head. At that time, they were not having, they were kind of in danger when they would go to put out a fire because the other firemen weren't really protecting them or supporting them due to the strife of like color of skin, right? So force of Black firefighters. But in this storyline that she writes about, there's a daughter and her father is a firefighter, and then the storyline then continues. I love how she uses historical fiction to map out her characters because you're learning about character and their emotions, but you're also learning about that time of history, which I think would really align with both of our degrees of literature and sociology.
Wow, it was great. Yeah, that's right. She really she really touched the emotion so deeply with the chose of the the historical issues, like with the characters, with the all these events. I really appreciate her masterfulness.
And it's interesting too that you were studying her children's books. I was looking at her youth books that are written for like a 12-year-old. When I'm reading it, I'm able to sail through it quickly. But it's not just for children, right? Like her writing is compounded for all of us to learn from. But I also think she does a masterful way of writing where she can capture a teenager and an adult at the same time. Like it's just beautiful. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yes.
Good to meet her.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, as you said, like her picture books, even picture books are not just only for young learners, like the children, kids. This is also for adults too, because the issues are so deep. Like they are touching the historical of African American identity. That's why it is very important, and that's why my last presentation about my upcoming like the postdoc goals. I really want to continue my education, my academic life in the United States. That's why I want to research my postdoc about the hair, the theme of hair, because I think hair is so important. It's not just on the physical appearance. It is very important about identity. So that's why I thought that I want to research about the theme of hair in African American children's picture books. How hair is portrayed throughout all these years, like the history. How students are embracing the theme of hair, how it is seen, what is the changes, and also I want to add like the Middle Eastern children's literature here. So it is a kind of comparative literature. The theme of hair is analyzed through African American picture books and the Middle Eastern American picture books because hair is yes important for all ethnicities, but especially for African American and Middle Eastern. So that's why this is my plan to talk about postdoctor. I hope I can issue, and in future I want to write about the book like the in relation to hair. Like this is my.
I think this sounds really interesting. Like a couple of questions. I'm wondering when you're studying American literature and then you really started to bend into African American literature and also African American like social issues. What is it that drew you there? Like as a woman from Turkey, what's pulling your energy that way?
Yeah, it's a great question because while learning the African American literature history, I was affected so so much because I saw like resilience, resistance, and the historical background is really so powerful. That's why I thought that okay, Gamze, I want to study, I want to research African American literature. I am personally interested in visual narrations. That's why, while researching children's picture books, I just saw Jacqueline Woodson's picture books, and I just contacted with her. This story started with it.
And then when you're looking at Middle Eastern and also hair, well, maybe I should back up for a second. When we're looking at like African American and hair, there's such complex societal issues that happened as far as like self-love, right? If we go all the way back to like Ebony, Black is Beautiful movements. We could look at India Arie's song about I Am Not My Hair. Also, Chris Rock has a documentary. I don't know if you watched it about hair as well.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. And then there was also some research I had looked at with Asian-owned hair product stores in Black communities, and that there used to be a time where they didn't want to sell like Black-owned hair products. So there was kind of a counter issue happening there as well, which was unfortunate. And so I think that is starting to now open up because there's a lot of Black-owned companies that are creating their own hair products, which is really empowering. When you look at like Middle Eastern and hair, I always found it very interesting that in America, if a woman is on, like, let's say the subway, and they want to be alone, sometimes we put our sunglasses on. We block our eyes. We might have shorts on, you can see our legs, you can see our hair, but we'll put sunglasses on and we kind of want to be left alone, right? And then in counter juxtaposition, I look at Middle Eastern culture, and what is the thing that they're always showing? Is their eyes, right? Everything else is covered up. I find it very interesting, like as women, what we allow to be seen of ourselves.
Yeah. This is yes, that's right. Actually, I put Middle Eastern part into this research because Turkey is geographically located with the neighbors of the Middle Eastern. That's why I decided to put Middle Eastern part into this postdoctoral issue. Here, from the religious perspective, of course, in Islam, some of the women are wearing hijab. That's why this is also about hair, and I really want to research this issue deeply to learn more because, especially like the older people, my grandmothers too, are are covering their heads. So this is about religious part, but also I just want to research it like the another reasons about it, even in the religion too. Yeah, this is really harsh and deep issue, and I really want to research more. That's why Middle Eastern part.
Yeah, and I think as we keep going further and further, we can see that as long as women have choice in what they want to do, whether they want to color their, straighten their hair, cover their hair, that's really like a major issue. I think your research will be fascinating. In the end, will you use this to teach a course? Are you planning on writing any books of your own? You are published with articles as well.
Yes, I wrote like the 10 articles until now. It was also about like the most of the issues are so diverse actually. Like one of them is about Mexican American, another one is about like Zora Neale Hurston's They Rise for Watching God. So it is very diverse. Like I can mention all of them. Like one of them is Gloria Anzaldua's La Fronteras, and some of them are about eco-critical issues. I'm also interested in naturalism, like eco-criticism. That's why I researched like Lydia Millet's Going, for example, and also one of them is about Arab Americans dramas. So Yusuf El Gundi's theatrical issue, I analyzed these from gender and the racial issues. Yeah, there are diverse articles that I wrote, but I'm still writing some things about my PhD dissertation to publish in the field of children's literature.
Yeah, this is fascinating. Yeah, and I just wonder, like, will you end up writing a children's book of your own at some point? I just wonder if that will be in the cards for you. All of this information we can all put in the show notes as well. We'll have your LinkedIn in there. Also, if you want to send me some of those articles so that I can add them in the show notes as well, that would be great.
First time to have presentation in America is the Columbia University, another one is the Buffalo University. So I am super excited from now because there will be my first presentation in face in America. I hope it will be perfect. Super excited.
Yes. So you're going to be July 25th through the 27th. Is that when you're coming?
Yes.
And then where can people, I guess we can put that in the show notes as well, but where could people sign up? Do you have to go to school at Columbia to go hear your talk, or can I go? Can anyone go?
I think yes, everyone can attend. My promotion is still prepared now. It is not done yet, but it will be in a few days. Post in link through LinkedIn, but everyone can sign up and can attend. It is for everyone. For the second one, like University of Buffalo, for with registration, I think it is because it is the Teaching Black History Conference, and it is the conference that I accepted for like a few months ago, and my paper was accepted. It will be about joyful journeys celebrating identity in African American children's literature. It will be about Jack LaMousse's picture books, both of them. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen a lot in the past couple of years. Kwame Alexander is another example of looking at joyful history and joyful Black. I don't know if you've seen the movie talking about The Harder They Fall. Have you seen that before? It's a
No, I think
it's a Black Western movie that was created by a Black director, Black cast, and it's very interesting because they have a Western movie, but also the music is from Coffee, a Caribbean singer, and so you're seeing a lot of like joy happening in all different mediums and art forms because of the shift of really helping young children feel good about themselves, right? And I think as teachers, we both see that impact and why it's so important. Will you, if you're coming back to America to study about hair, are you centering in on New York, or do you want to try any other states? America is so large. I don't know.
No, I'm open to all states actually. I'm searching from everywhere. So I'm not just only looking into the New York.
Audience, I think it would be really cool if you are interested in having Gamze come and do some research in your city, your town, your schools, that she could make this like a traveling research project, because America is so vast. Like, that would be wonderful if people were open. If you come to California, you can stay with me for sure for a couple of days. Like research, that would be really beautiful. So yeah, I think that would be that'd be a great one. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience before we wrap up today?
Actually, it was a great memory to know you today, talk with you. I enjoyed so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity to invite me and the beautiful podcast program.
I think I've learned a lot from you today as well. No matter what land we live on, that we all have similarities, right? We're all searching for love, for curiosity, for learning. And I'm talking love of the world, right? Just relationship. But there's so many themes that we can all relate to. And I think it's really cool for my American audience to see that you live in Turkey, but you have such profound knowledge of America and interest in America. And that I think for the rest of my viewers from around the world, to really show what we already know, is that like creating this global community is really important, and that the more we learn from each other, the better off we are, but also the more we can see in different perspectives and celebrate together. So yeah, thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's likewise. I'm so happy to know you.
Yeah, me too. Well, I'm going to come visit you in Turkey someday. That'd be awesome.
Sure, you sure. Yeah. Of course, you sure. I will be happily accompany with you to everywhere, in Turkey.
Yeah. All right. Well, audience, like, subscribe, and share this with anyone that you know who would be interested in the vast amount of topics that we just talked about. I hope that after hearing Gamze's experience today, that it will inspire you to travel. It will inspire you to continue to learn, pop into a museum, go and forge ahead on your own. So yeah, thank you so much, audience, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you.